So the first thing that happens when something's invented, people think about how you can use it for dating and mating in the end. Why am I here, and what do I want to talk about? We believe dating is broken, and that is a little bit an interesting statement from us. When you think about it, and I recently read the quote, everybody hates dating apps and everybody uses them. And that is pretty much what we're thinking about is, yes, it's a great market. It is there to stay because everybody will date at some point in life. But at the same time, we need to make things better. But before I get there, and thanks for the intro, Marco, I think I need to explain a little bit who we are. Why? Because ParshipMeet, for the German speakers here, they might know what Parship is, but we have way more, and you might never heard of us as a group, but you, I'm pretty sure, got in touch or got a touch point with one of our brands, at least when you're residing in the Western world. So how does the market look like? We are, as a group, a portfolio of brands, and brand is important in our business. We started with Parship, which is a serious matchmaking app in Germany. It's been founded in 2001. Then we did a reasonable amount of M&A and acquired additional brands, so that today we believe we have the broadest portfolio in terms of dating brands and the purpose. And the important part about dating is the intention the user is having while dating. And it starts with like meeting someone, that is our Meet Me brand, predominantly active in the US, over to actually looking for a relationship. And the highest brand we have there is Elite Partner in Germany or eHarmony in the US, while eHarmony is kind of the iconic category inventor in the US that we were able to acquire in 2018. In the middle, there's something like Levu, which is also in the German-speaking market. So we have multiple brands, but we also have quite some competition. In the end, when you look at our profile, we're pretty sizable for a company in a niche, and we're pretty proud that we're a German company that is actually having a significant footprint in the US in a digital business, with more than 50% of our revenues actually coming from the US and only about a quarter coming out of the EU and Switzerland, and then 15% out of the rest of the world. We're highly profitable, and we've been like that for the past almost decade, with about 20% margin, EBITDA margin. Obviously, it fluctuates. We all had COVID effect, so it fluctuates a little bit, but it's always been a very profitable business. Looking at the overall footprint of us in the global market or in the Western world, when you look at the market, it's pretty consolidated already. You have three big groups. That's us, being the third, and then you have Match Group, and Marco just mentioned Bumble as the large American groups there. But as a German company, being internationally the number 3, we take that with pride. We're pretty diversified when it comes to revenue streams, and I come to that in a second. So it's not only about dating and subscriptions and what you know about it maybe. We also have a small B2B aspect, but at some point we went into online video live streaming as a community, and there are some interesting revenue streams coming out of that too. I mentioned the market. I think not looking at the numbers, but purely about what our product is about, I think we can all agree on that whatever happens in the world, and with an increase in population, and we've just learned about the African population being very young, not yet connected to the internet, dating and finding friends, but also partners, will always be a topic. So we're very optimistic when it comes to how a market can develop in our area. Marco mentioned, and I come to the interesting topics in just a second, M&A we did. I think it's, for us, always important to look at the past to see what an interesting strategy for the future also might be. Parship was founded in 2001, and we kind of spent a decade on developing Parship in the German-speaking areas. Then in the end, at some point, we were very marketing intensive. So we went with ProSiebenSat.1 in 2012, German media company, with a media for revenue deal, which in the end was important for us because there were clear synergies back then TV advertising was the way to scale our business. We went through a phase where we then sold to a private equity fund. We then acquired Elite Partner, our main competitor in Germany. Then ProSiebenSat.1 actually became a shareholder. We took General Atlantic on board. And then the big step was acquiring eHarmony, which I mentioned earlier, which was this step for us into the American markets. And then we acquired this video and more like meeting, dating based business, the Meet Group, in 2020. So what do we do? And one thing that is important about dating is we need to understand why it's broken. And I just want to reiterate on that. We have, as an industry, a problem based on the swipe dating apps predominantly, and including things we did as well, where dating just become commoditized, and people treat dating profiles a little bit like, let's say, a online streaming video kind of service where you spend an hour thinking about who might be the next date, and in the end you don't commit yourself to someone. One thing we found out is the important parts about dating are authenticity, appreciation, commitment, safety, perspective, and fun. That is a lot. So we didn't ask the consumers what they want. We asked them what their expectation is on dating itself. And that is a lot. And there are certain apps that support that, and we are in a transformation mode where we say, okay, we want to put the consumer first, but the consumer needs. The product is not the app. The product is the experience, and in the end, getting on a date and finding someone that matches really what I want in life. We first transformed for the German speakers, they might know that, our iconic Parship brand in Germany, which was having a iconic claim, every 11 minutes someone falls in love at Parship, and we had those, over years, those very beautiful models all over Germany. Out of home was an important channel, TV was an important channel, and we found out, when we talk about authenticity, when we talk about commitment, every 11 minutes is something like a food delivery service. But you have to commit yourself, so you don't order a date. You actually need to commit to the process. And on the other hand, having very beautiful models on there sets a problematic expectation. And at one time, one of our female product managers told me, I don't want to be on a dating site where guys are on that are attracted by this advertising. And that's where we really changed and had a more purposeful marketing approach, actively said we're going to get rid of the 11 minutes. That was wrong. I mean, it was a great campaign for years, but we had to change something. And we did that in 2022, and we see now the positive effects. It was very strategic, and at Parship, we now see the positive effects in Germany. It all works only if you also take the product into account. This is just a video I want to show. I don't know if it works. Yes, it works. You know, maybe dating apps where you swipe left and right. It's based on attractiveness. We believe it's important, and this is eHarmony, to make it based on what you want in life, that you match. And it's not only about a personality questionnaire, but it's about making the whole process about the person and not about the looks. Authenticity doesn't mean an Instagram profile. Authenticity means it's really about the two of us. And we started on that journey with our matchmaking brands, where we say the matching process needs to be based on more than just image attractiveness, whether I can present myself in a very glossy way. Another feature we have is a no-filter policy for Parship in Germany, for example. We check that a picture is not filtered. We don't want TikTok profiles on there. We want authentic profiles. And those things seem to the user as something that is against our business. And that provides also trust in the process and in the app, because you have to deliver something to the user that makes them believe it's about the date. For our other brands in a more social area, we also follow what is missing. So you don't want that authenticity there might be something else when it's about meeting people. And there we went a hyper-local way where we said, okay, it's really about finding someone close. It's finding someone with similar interests. So do I want to go to a restaurant? Do I like bars? Do I like bowling? I don't know what. And we kind of interconnected the real world with the dating experience. So that is just a short elevator pitch. In the end, when we look at, I mean, we're not a startup. I have that startup badge, but we're not a startup. We are, yesterday learned about the Platform Group, a beautiful name. We're looking into preparing ourselves to be a platform as a company to, in the end, follow the process that we did in the past in a more strategic way, also when it's about adding brands and building a platform to be the one to scale those brands and be an attractive partner for them, also with the team capabilities we have. And by that, we're addressing the online dating's pain points with our multi-brand portfolio and, in the end, the platform we're building. Thank you.